not normally my kind of thing, and quite by coincidence really that I was invited to read a poem 5 years ago, and I came quite naive ideas about what might happen, and I was pretty horrified about what happened through the whole day. So I'll read first the short poem that I've written since.
Can everybody hear Matthew? Can you come in a bit closer because he's not got the same. You can project. Yeah. Shout if you want. Shout if you want to shout.
The paramilitary police filed down the steps. Between lions I clambered as a child. I haven't thought back since, but up it skips. My mother calling me, I stand beguiled. Older here than she was, having just read a poem through a megaphone in the rain. Are we sleepwalking into it again? Such ordinary folk, the fascists, filming us now and hating, wishing dead democracy and the rule of law, which we are here to stand up for, not knowing the police regard as guests, these thugs, these smashers up, these ultraphobes, and file down now at us in their beautiful robes. This is the longer poem that I read 5 years ago, called Tirade, because it is a bit of a tirade, I suppose. It just introduced with a little limerick.
Come closer. You can't hear.
There was a young PM called Tony, who everyone thought was a phony. He sent in more troops, and then he said oops, when the mothers of sons were left lonely. And this is the one I read 5 years ago. And the next World War has already effectively started, in the same way that in the early 30s the Second World War had already effectively started, with German bombers at Guernica in the Spanish Civil War, and the Japanese overrunning Manchuria. What a nice word that is, overrunning. How nice and discreet. And the Italians in Ethiopia doing lots of good things like nation building. So that now the Third World War has already begun with the Americans and the British in Yugoslavia, and with the Americans and the British in Iraq, and with the Americans and the British in Afghanistan, and with the Russians in Chechnya and Georgia, and with the Israelis incandescent in Gaza, only we can't see it, like the Germans and Japanese couldn't see it. Things were going so well, they were losing so few. They lost so few in their bombers over Guernica. They didn't lose any. What a way to prosecute a war. They lost so few as they overran Manchuria. That lovely word again. I love a good euphemism. We lost so few in the Balkans. We lost so few in Iraq. We've lost so few so far in Afghanistan. And they all get counted on our side. And they all get a nice letter home. And they all get proper body bags. And all their pieces come home, even their toes, even their fingers. With our superior firepower and superior civilization we cannot see, and we are of course defending civilization against brigades of international extremists, just as Franco did. With our video games and our porn we cannot see, with our night goggles and torture compounds, our now hurriedly tendered out torture compounds we cannot see. The Americans cannot see because of rage. What's the British excuse? The Americans cannot see because of hatred. The British cannot see because they were once great and are not now so. The British cannot see because they've been brought low. Who brought them low? The British cannot see because American air bases litter British land, because it is all so far away. The British public protested once in large numbers. They saw, but now they choose not to see. They are back at work. They do not want to be responsible for what happens if we leave. They tell themselves it is probably for the best. The people in charge know best. There must be someone in charge.
Thank you, Matthew. So that's £2.